Meghan Markle must be in crisis mode right now, as an insider is sharing the late Queen's final brutal comments about Megxie shortly before she sadly passed away. It's only getting worse for Megxie. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because Megxie must be in crisis mode right now, as an insider is sharing more of the late Queen's final brutal comments about Megxie shortly before she sadly passed away. It does seem to only be getting worse for Megxie. And it's probably of her own design as well, of course. Here is the report from Radar Online. Read the late Queen's final and absolutely brutal remarks about Meghan Markle made 4 weeks before Queen Elizabeth II sadly passed away. Now, according to insiders, just a month before she passed away in September 2022, Queen Elizabeth II expressed her deep concerns regarding Harry and Megxie's relationship, referring to it as, quote, a complete catastrophe. Now, despite Meghan and Harry insisting that they shared such a warm and wonderful bond with the Queen, right? Yeah, that lie is tearing apart at the seams publicly, because this is in light of revelations from journalist and royal biographer Sally Biddell-Smith. Now, in her latest Substack called Royal Extras, she shares insights from Lady Elizabeth Anson. Now, she's a cousin of the Queen who recounted the Queen's true feelings towards Harry and Megxie. Now, according to Lady Eliza, she was fondly called Prince Harry reportedly disrespected his grandmother during a tense meeting about his wedding, leaving the Queen completely saddened when Megxie refused to reveal details about her dress. Now, this all echoes earlier claims made in The Spectator, hinting that the relationship between Megxie, Harry and the Queen was not simple at all, to what really Harry and Megxie would like us to believe. A source recounted an astonishing moment at Balmoral just 1 month before Queen Elizabeth's death, saying, quote, it was out of character for the Queen, but she saw straight through Meghan. At the drinks before the dinner, a small group were talking to the monarch, and she explained that Harry meeting Meghan had become a complete catastrophe. Now, at this point, of course, we all know Harry and Megxie are in Montecito. They had left the royal family at that point. I don't know about you guys, but reading this, it reminds me of the rumour, conspiracy opinion, whatever, that in the past, the Queen has actually said that Meghan Markle is evil. That the Queen actually said that Megxie is evil. Now, you guys might think, oh, well, that's quite tame. But for someone like the Queen to say that someone's evil, that's a big thing. That's massive. That's humongous. Right? It's like me turning around and saying that Megxie is a narcissistic, evil, cowbag, freaking hussy from hell, right? Like being so strong with my words. Yeah, that kind of strength of my words is the same as the strength of the Queen's words turning around and saying that Megxie is evil. Do you see where I'm coming from there, you guys? Do you see why Megxie must be in crisis mode right now? Because these final brutal comments coming from the Queen from beyond the grave, no less, becoming public. Oh, that's not good for Megxie and her PR and her image right now, of her trying to make out that she's this homemaker, that she's this perfect entertaining hostess, that she's so kind to her friends and anyone that visits, blah, blah, blah. Well, if the Queen's turning around and saying that you're complete catastrophe and that you're evil, this, that, and the other, yeah, everyone's seeing through Megxie and, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, the lie that she's trying to perpetrate through her brand as ever. Now, Lady Elizabeth, a high society party planner and close confidant of the Queen, was reportedly critical around the time of the couple's wedding, claiming, quote, we hope but don't quite think she's in love. We think she engineered it all. This is the Queen turning around and saying, I don't believe that Megxie is in love with my grandson. That she planned all this. Now, Megxie initially came across to the Queen as wonderful, delightful, blah, blah, blah. But issues arose quite quickly as the wedding date approached. Lady Liza stating that the Queen was privately very worried about Megxie's demeanour, claiming, quote, Harry seems to think the Queen can do what she wants, but she can't. Also emphasising that Hazard seemed to disregard traditional royal protocols, saying, I was shocked when the Queen told me this, how she was so saddened. I had no idea about the conversation that he was rude to her for 10 minutes. Now, as this all came about, Lady Liza predicted that Megxie could become nothing but trouble, noting that she sees things in a different way. Following a brief patch-up between Harry and the Queen just before the wedding, it wasn't long before issues in the relationship became noticeable once again. The tension extending even to Megxie's choice of wedding gown, which the Queen reportedly criticised as being too white for a divorcee remarrying in a church, a point highlighted by royal biographer Ingrid Stewart in her book, My Mother and I. The Queen's unease with Harry and Meghan's decisions culminated in their announcement to step back from royal duties in 2020. Allegedly desperate to maintain their independence from royal expectations while still drawing from royal favour, the couple's relationship with the Queen suffered further. The Queen was reportedly upset by the name choice of their daughter Lilibet, which I totally believe, right? There's been rumours going along over the years, right, that when Megxie and Hazard named their daughter Lilibet, that the Queen was absolutely distraught and really, really sad, and turned round and said, and I'm paraphrasing here, something along the lines of, I don't own anything other than my name. And they had to take that as well. I mean, that's heartbreaking. I believe the Queen said that. I believe the Queen was unhappy when Megxie and Hazard named their daughter Lilibet. I don't believe that Megxie and Hazard went to the Queen in the first place to say, do you know what? We're looking at calling our daughter Lilibet. What do you think to that? And I don't believe it even more now after that episode of Megxie's Confessions of a Female Flounder, where she actually turns around and says, when you've chosen your name for your unborn child, keep it close to your chest. Don't tell anyone. Well, presumably she'd follow her own advice, right? That Hazard and Megxie chose the name of Lilibet for their daughter, but kept it close to their chest and didn't tell anyone, including the Queen. And then just went ahead and named the daughter Lilibet, and that were that. But ultimately, going around full circle here, I can imagine right now that Megxie's in crisis mode as the final brutal comments from the Queen are becoming public. It is completely destroying Megxie's image, or the image that she's trying to make through her brand as ever, as this kind, wonderful, perfect hostess, right? That'll bend over backwards to give you the best platter of fruit, the best flour sprinkles, and the best repackaged pretzels on freaking earth. Yeah. The late Queen's final brutal comments about Megxie that's now coming to light is totally destroying Megxie and the image that she's trying to portray with us ever. And that's culminating, as far as I'm concerned, in Megxie losing even more money and favour when it comes to her brand. No wonder, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, Megxie's in crisis mode over these final brutal comments from the Queen. But enough about what I think. What do you guys think? With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and of course you want more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. What do you think about the Queen's final brutal comments about Megxie just shortly before she sadly passed away? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.